Okay, so hi, welcome to today's webinar. So in today's webinar, we'll be covering the topic of percentage. This is specific to P5. But just for the purpose of this webinar, right, we'll be zooming in specifically into three areas of percentage that you need to know at P5, which is how is it applied in discounts, GST, and interest. Okay, so before I start this webinar, before I go into the content part of it, let me do a brief introduction of myself. So I'm Jeanette, and I'm conducting today's session. I've been teaching in Matrix Math for about 9 years already at the Marine Parade branch, okay, which is the HQ lah. So on top of teaching, I also look at like curriculum planning and development to see how our program can be kept relevant, especially with all the changes in syllabus and assessments. So why are we trying to do this webinar? So the whole purpose is to like provide a more bite-sized recap of important topics. And we hope that this can provide you with a better understanding of whichever concept or topic that we have selected. Okay, so that's what we are here for, okay, for today's webinar. All right, let's jump in. So percentage. So like I said, we are only looking at three specific areas for today, which is discounts, GST, and interest. So you should have a handout in front of you. And as I go through the questions, I'll give you an introduction first. I'm sure you all have already learned this in school, but I'll just like to recap what are these three types of applications of percentage. So as I go through the questions later on, right, what you all need to do is to write down the workings and then get the answer. Today's lesson is not supposed to be very difficult or anything, okay? But just a recap of the understanding of this. Okay, what is discount? Where do you all see discounts? Discount is like when you go shopping, right? Then they say, oh, 30% discount. Okay, very good. So you are getting, what you need to pay is less than what they're selling it for originally, right? So if we talk about discount, it's 100% minus of the percentage discount. Okay, so if it's like 30% discount, it's 100 minus 30. Not plus, you pay less, not pay more. Okay, then what about GST? So GST is short for goods and services tax. Okay, so it is a fee that people have to pay when they buy things. So imagine you are buying like a new stationery. When you pay for it, a small part of the money you give goes to the government. So this little bit of money that goes to the government, right, when accumulated, so the government used all this money to pay for things like schools, hospitals, roads, and parks. So like shared services or like things that you wouldn't pay on your own, okay? So when all this money is added up, right, that's called GST. So it's a simple tax that covers many different things you buy instead of having like different types of taxes. So whoever is buying that item is helping to pay a small part of the GST. And that's how the government gets money to help the whole country run smoothly. Okay, so that's the idea of GST. So you are paying more than what you originally have to pay. So for GST, it's a plus. Okay, so right now GST is at 9%. So what you have to pay is 100% plus 9%, not minus, plus. Okay, then how about interest? What's interest? So interest is like, it's actually like a reward for letting someone borrow money from you. So imagine you lend your friend $10, okay, to buy something. Then after some time, when your friend gives you back the money, right, they give you a little extra as a way of saying like, thank you for lending it to me. So that little extra money is called interest. Okay, so like you charge an extra amount for that service of like lending your friend money. Okay, then, so same thing, if you go to a bank, right? If you borrow money from a bank to buy something big, like a house, you have to pay back more than what you borrowed. And the extra amount is called the interest. It's like the bank's way, then the bank's way of saying like, thanks for borrowing money from us. Okay, so interest can work in both ways, whether you are borrowing or lending money. It's that little extra bit added to the original. Okay, so for interest, it's a plus. So for discount, it's minus. For GST and interest, you add on to the original amount. Okay, so I hope you understand the basis of it. Okay, if you understand, it'll be easier. Okay, let's look at concept 1, which is on discount. Okay, first example. The usual price of a shirt was $30. It was later sold at a discount of 20%. What was the selling price of the shirt after the discount? Okay, so you look at first, the value given in the question, $30. $30 is the original amount, right? Original amount is always 100%. So this $30 is 100%. Okay, so 100% is $30. Now take note when you're doing percentage, right? If you write 100%, please do not use equal sign. Because mathematically, 100% is actually equals to 1, not 30. So you have to use arrow at 100% represents $30. Okay, so this is something you need to take note for percentage. So we're going to use like a unitary method. If you know what's that, it's like saying 100 units is 30. What do you find next? Always find 1 unit, right? So you find 1%. So to find 1%, we'll take 30 divide by 100, which is 30 cents. Without a calculator, how do you divide by 100? The decimal point will be like behind the zero. Then you jump 2 times to the left. Then it becomes 0.3, right? So it's 0.30. What are we trying to find? We're trying to find the selling price. The selling price is, it means after discount. After discount, how many percent are you supposed to pay? So if you are selling it at a, if you are buying, no, the shirt, okay, sorry. The shirt is sold at a discount of 20%, means that the selling price will be 100 minus 20. Whoever is buying had to pay 80%. Okay, so 80%, which is like 80 units. So you multiply it by 80. Multiply your 30 cents by 80. And you get $24. Okay, so far, all okay? If you're okay, can you put like a thumbs up in the chat or something so that I know you're following? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, now example 2. This time, okay, a watch costs $52 after a 20% discount. What is the original price of the watch? Now, can you see in front of you? There's a poll, right? Question. So the $52, right? How many percent is that? Okay, can you answer in the poll? Okay, two more haven't answered yet. Who haven't answered yet? Two more more responses. Okay, one more. Don't know, never mind. Just choose something you think is right, okay? Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. I'll be explaining anyway. One more. Who is it? Okay, never mind. I just end now. Okay, I have okay, can see. So some of you say it's 100%, some of you say it's 80%, some of you say it's 120%. All right, so I have three different answers. Which one is it? Okay, so this watch, right, costs $52 after discount. After a discount, you don't remember discount means what? You pay more or pay less. Discount means good, you pay less. Okay, you pay less. So if the original is always 100%, if you're paying 20% less, so the watch would be 80%. Okay, 80%. Okay, maybe you should write 100% minus 20% equals to 80%. 80% is $52, then we always want to find 1%. So 52 divided by 80. From here, you can use your calculator, okay? $52 divided by 80, which is 65 cents. So 1% is 65 cents. What was the original price of the watch? Original price, that is the 100%. Okay, so we're looking for 100%. 10 times 100, which is $65. So every time when we do percentage, right, what we do is we look at the value given, and then we ask ourselves, how many percent is that? All right, so identify like how many percent is the value given in the question. So in the first one is $30, which is 100%. In the second one is $52, which is 80%. Okay, so next concept is on GST. And for GST, the idea is the same. Okay, the idea is similar. So basically, discount is minus, for GST is a plus. You just need to remember that. Okay, let's look at GST. John sold a computer to Peter at a price of $1,526. This amount included 9% GST. What was the usual price of the computer excluding GST? So same thing, you look at this question, you look at the value, then you need to figure out, okay, it's 1,526. How many percent is it? Okay, no guessing. Read the question. John sold to Peter at the price of this. This amount included 9% GST. So what does it mean? Includes GST means with GST, do you pay more or do you pay less? Do we pay more or do we pay less? Anyone? More, yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, we are paying more, right? So it has to be plus. So 100% plus 9% to get 109%. Okay, so this amount here is 109%. Because your original is always 100, so with GST, 109. So same thing, unitary method. So you want to find 1%. So as I go through all these concepts, you realize that actually like all these quite similar. You always find, you always identify how many percent is that, then you find 1%, then you read the question and you find whatever you want to find. All right, so 1% is 1,526 divided by 109. Which is $14. Then how many percent do we want to find? What was the usual price excluding GST? Usual price excluding GST. So without GST is 100%. Okay, that is the usual price. So we are finding 100%. So 14 times 100, 1400. Okay, get ready for concept 2, example 2. There will be another poll. So try to recall what I said earlier. So first we read the question. Okay, Yenny paid 9% GST when she bought a bed. If the GST amounted to $63, what is the price of the bed excluding GST? Okay, so first look for the value. Yeah, the value is here, $63. Now question, $63 is how many percent? Okay, just see the poll. $63 is how many percent? Read carefully, if the GST amounted to $63. If the GST amounted to $63. Three more responses. Come, choose your answer. If the GST amounted to $63. Okay, some more. Two more. Oops. Hi, two more. No? Okay, so anyway, let me just tell you what I have, okay? I have these different answers. I got what 9%. Some of you said 9%. Then some of you said 109%. And some of you said 91%. Okay, close the poll. Okay, never mind, it's okay. Let me just go through. Whatever answers you have, you know what's the answer. You know what you have, right? Okay, then let's check if that is correct. Well, Yenny paid 9% when she bought 9% GST when she bought a bed. Okay, so bed plus the GST. That is what she paid. But the question said if the GST amounted to $63. GST amounted to this means that this $63, right, is just the GST. This is just the GST. Okay, I give you another chance. What's the correct answer? Ah, oh, okay. Who's the first person who answered? Their first answer wrong. What thing or not? If the GST amounted to $63, okay? The bed, buy bed. No more responses. Okay. Now more of you got it right this time. Only one of you chose 109%. Okay, not 109. The GST amounted to 63, means just the GST. Okay, so 63 is just 9%. 9%. If you all got question, can let me know, okay? You can type in the chat, you can unmute yourself, whichever. If you're not sure, please let me know, okay? Or if I'm not explaining some parts clearly, do let me know. Okay, so 9% is $63. If the GST amounted to 63, means the 63 is just the GST. Okay, so 9% is 63, 1%, so you divide by 9, is $7. What is the price of the bid, excluding GST? How many percent are we finding? Like in the chat, how many percent are we finding? What is the price of the bid excluding GST? Same like the previous question, usual price excluding GST. Nur Shafawati, correct. CB, correct. Lincoln, yes. Okay, Jeanette, yes. Okay, very good. Percent, yeah, percent. Totally. Okay, Muhammad, correct. Celine, okay, nice. 100% is what we're finding. That's right. So times 100. So answer $700. Okay, that's for GST. So GST, will you ever have any situations where you are finding 91%? No, it means you're doing something wrong already. GST, before GST is 100%. After GST is 109%. Okay, you will never see an instance where you're finding 91% for GST. All right, let's look at concept 3. Interest. Okay, so interest, if you recall, do we add or do we minus? Interest, you always get more, more. Here, interest. Interest here. So add. Okay. Wrong one. Okay, example 1, which has two parts, A and B. John deposits $8,000 in a bank, which pays an interest of 2% per year. How much interest will he get in 1 year? First, look for the value. The value is $8,000. $8,000. How many percent is that? Is that the original amount, or is that the amount with interest? So if you read the question, it says that he deposits 8,000 in the bank. That is the original amount that he puts into the bank, okay? So if it's the original, then that amount is 100%. So 100% is $8,000. Then we always find 1%. So we divide by 100. So firstly, how much interest will he get? They're just asking for the interest portion, the interest portion only. So the interest is only 2%. So just find that will do, okay? 2%. So 80 times 2, that is the answer. That is the interest. Okay, it's that little extra that you're getting, that 2% only. Okay, what is the amount of money in John's bank account at the end of the year? So remember he came, hey, this is John. He went to the bank with $8,000. Lots of money. Okay, he goes to the bank. Bank. Then because he puts in this money, right? The bank gives him this 2%, which is $160. That means whatever he put in, right, in his account, the bank will add on to his account $160. So what is the amount of money at the end of the year? So the 8,000 is still inside the bank. It is still there at the end of the year, but on top of that, he gets the extra interest. All right, so the total for part B, you can find 102%. You just take the 1% times 102, or you just add 8,000 plus 160. Okay, either way is fine. Still get the same answer. So using percentage is 102 because original is 100, interest is 2, so 102%. You can write either one, whichever you understand better, whichever you're more comfortable with. Okay, are you all ready for the next question where we have a poll? Okay, hold on now. Concept 3, example 2. Okay, so here, example 2. Oh, okay, no, you got a question, please let me know. Yenny received 480 as interest after depositing her savings in the bank for 1 year. If the bank pays 1.5% per annum as interest, how much money did Yenny have altogether at the end of 1 year? Okay, per annum means 1 year, so per year, okay? Yenny received 480 as interest after depositing her savings for 1 year. 4.8% as interest. Question is, how many percent is $4.80? Okay, answer in the poll. Any receive 480 as interest. Oh, okay, very good. Oh, nice. Okay, for those who have responded, all correct. Nice. Okay, so anyway, yeah, 1.5% because that is just the interest, right? Only the interest, so 1.5% is 480. Okay, then now next, what do we find? We need to find 1%, right? We always need to find 1%. So how do we find 1% from here? You know, it's like finding units, right? So from 1.5%, if you always want to get like 1 unit or 1%, you just divide by whatever you have over there. So in this case, it's 1.5. Hi.
Percentage very easy one. Let's say your 1.5% is 4.80 right? If you want to find 1%, you just use 1 divided by 1.5 and you will get the answer here.
Huh? What? Actually,
Okay, so 1.5%. Okay, let me give you an example, okay? Let's say I have 8%. Example, 8%. How do you find 1%? You will divide by 8, right? It's like what you do for units, correct? If let's say I have like 57%, how do I find 1%? I do the same thing. I just divide by whatever number I have over there, divide by 57. So same here, if I have 1.5%, how do I find 1%? I just divide by that same number, divide by 1.5. Okay, so 480, what do? I have to divide by 1.5. So what you key in your calculator is 480 divided by 1.5. Okay, then question, how much money did Yenny have all together at the end of 1 year? Anyone can you all put in the chat what do you all think? How many percent are we finding? What did Yenny have all together at the end of 1 year? Not at the start, but at the end of 1 year. Anyone has any idea? Can key in the chat. What do you think? How many percent are we finding? We already have 1%. Nur Shafawati, yes, very good. We are finding, Celine, yes, correct. We are finding 100% plus the interest. So, yes, Phoebe, 101.5%. Okay, so Jeanette, yes. Okay, great. How do we find that though? So same thing. Okay, wait. Same thing here. From 1%, you multiply. Oops. Multiply by 101.5. Okay, just multiply by whatever you want to find to get that percentage. Use your calculator. And you get 324.8. $324.80. So the question may seem a little bit more complicated with decimals as the percentage, but the idea is the same. Okay, the idea is the same. Now, moving on to example 3. At the end of a year, Peter has a total of $1,260 in his fixed deposit account. Okay, so a savings account. So if the yearly interest is 5%, what is the amount he had at the beginning of that year? So question, okay, look for the value. The value is 1260. Okay, 1260. And that's at the end of a year. Okay. Now, another poll. Actually, last poll. What is this $1,260? How many percent? Think first, think before you answer. This amount is what he has at the end of a year. Okay, which do you think is the correct answer? Key in the, just click the correct answer in the poll. Okay, some of you haven't answered yet. What do you think is the answer? I should have one more option or put not sure. Okay. Three more of you. Okay, I have a different answer now. Okay, let me just end this. So two different answers I have is 105% as well as 95%. Okay. So is that 105 or 95? This amount here, right, is after at the end of the year. So as we recap, what is interest? Interest is the extra that you get on top of the original. Okay, so you're always getting more if we're talking about interest. So it has to be 105. Okay, not 100 minus 5, 100 plus 5. So 105%. He's going to get more. So at the end by the end of the year, this is the amount that is the more. Okay, then we find 1%. So same thing, if you want to find 1%, you have to divide by the number that is given, divide by 105. 1260 divided by 105, which is $12. Now, what is the amount that he had at the beginning of that year? Beginning of the year, that is the original amount that he puts in. So that is the 100% that we're trying to find. Okay, so 12 times 100, $1,200. Okay, the next part, concept 4, that is the hardest concept, which combines both discount and GST into the question. I'm going to show you how to tackle those type of questions. Okay. So I continue. Anyone not done yet? Question? Sorry, no. Example 1, concept 4, discount with GST. Okay, this is the type of question that may throw students off if they don't understand like how this discount and GST works. Okay, so first, the price of a shoe rack in a furniture shop is $160, excluding GST of 8%. Okay, this 8% is last year now. Okay, this year is supposed to be 9%, but never mind. Let's work with 8% for this question. So the shoe rack is 160, excluding GST of 8%. Okay, that's the original price. So during the Great Singapore Sale, there is a discount of 30% on all items in the shop. So what is the price of the shoe rack after discount, including GST? Okay, so in a question like that, you have to look at discount and GST as two different layers. Let's look at it as layers. Okay, original price is 160, 100%. So if there is a discount comes first. So if there is a discount of 30%, means that you are paying 70%. Right? So you start off with 100%. You draw this diagram, okay? Don't draw it to the right. There's like some more stuff here below. Okay, original price is 100%. This is the discount layer, the first layer. After discount, you pay 70%. Okay? So, okay, this is a discount layer. Then you take, after you have found this amount here, that amount flows down to a different layer, to the GST layer. Okay, the one in blue is the discount layer, the one in orange is the GST layer. So that amount will flow down. It's the same amount, but different percentage. Now at the GST layer, that amount is no longer 70%, but 100%. So before GST is always 100%. Then with GST, it becomes 108%. Okay? If you are confused at this point, it's okay. It's not easy. I'll go through another example later, okay? Let's look at this first. So in the discount layer, I have 100%, which is $160. Okay, so before discount, 100% is 160. So 100% is before discount. It's $160. I need to go to the next box. In the next box, it says 70%. So let's find 70%. So again, we do unitary method. So you find 1%, means you divide by 100. Then to get to the 70% box, I have to find 70%. So 160 times 70. Then you get $112 over here. Okay, so that is the discount layer. Now this $112, right, will flow down to the GST layer, but it now takes on 100%. So before GST, 100% is $112. And same thing, so I find 1%. So if you notice from here, right, the 1% is no longer 160. The 1% is different now. So it's 112 divided by 100, $1.12. So never ever, okay, what's a common error? Common error is students will take like 100%, then there is a 30% discount, then you minus 30%, and then, oh, there's a 8% GST, then add 8%. and then you get back like, you get like 78%. This is wrong, this is wrong. Okay, don't do that. So you have to treat them as two different layers. Treat them differently. Okay, so now 1% is $1.12 in the GST layer. We want to find with GST. So to get to this box, I find 108%. So times 108. Then I get this. Okay, any questions or you need me to repeat any part? Please let me know. Okay, done? Anyone not done with this? I'll move on to the next question. Example 2. Okay, we're going to draw the same thing. So the TV set costs $700. During a sale, John bought it at a discount of 30%. He had to pay an additional 9% on the sale price. How much did he pay for the TV set? Okay, what is the wrong way of doing this? It will be to take 100% minus 30%, then plus 9%, right? This is the wrong way. Please do not do this. You have to treat the GST and discount separately. Discount comes first. So starting with original. Original is this 700. After discount, there is a discount of 30%. After discount is 70%. Okay, so this is what the discount layer looks like. Okay, so this one is 700. Oops. Okay, $700 goes here. So when you go down to the GST layer, the price after discount will suddenly become 100% again. Okay, without GST. So this is before GST. Then with GST, it's 109% over here. So if you can draw this diagram and understand how it works, actually it's not too difficult. Start off with this. This is $700. 100% is $700. Then I want to find this. So with this, I find 1% first. Which is 700 divided by 100. Okay, then let's go to the next box. This is a 70%. So I find what is 70%, which is 70 times 7, 490. So this over here is 490. Now, flow down to the GST layer. 490 flows down. This is also 490. But this 490 is now 100% in the GST layer. So before GST, 100% is 490. Can you all continue from here? Get the answer, key into the chat. Okay, I'll wait for your answers. I want the answer with how much did he pay for the TV set, which means that with the GST, lah. We're looking at this part here. I have 100% over here. I want to get to 109%. You will need your calculators, huh? Anyone? Nobody got answer. From here, 1%, so divide by 100. $4.90. Then with GST is 109%. So we find 109%. So Celine, correct. Okay, so 109% will be $4.90 multiplied by 109. $534.10. Do you all get it? Okay, Phoebe, okay, yes, good. Okay, with that, okay, write it down if you haven't. Lincoln, okay. I hope you understand. Is there anything that you want to clarify? Otherwise, this is the last question for today's webinar. Then before I end off, let me just introduce, because a number of you are not with us, not with our center yet. Let me just introduce to you the Matrix Math program that let you have a better understanding. Okay. So first, over here in our center, what we focus on is a small class size. So it's a 1 to 6, 6 to 8. Okay, we have 2 slots for makeup students. So otherwise, the class size will be like about 6 students. Then we are in line with MOE syllabus. So whatever the school cover, we will also cover. We're not like enrichment. Okay, we do whatever the school, what MOE requires. Sometimes certain lessons, certain topics may be taught earlier because we generally will start earlier in the year. Like by November, we will actually start our lesson 1 for the year. So, but by the end of the year, whatever we've covered is the same as what schools cover. Okay, then what we focus on is like reasoning, problem solving skills. So for P5, we will focus, usually it's more of the paper 2 questions. Okay, the problem sums, the heuristics part of it. So those are where we find most students actually struggle with. Not so much in paper 1, more of paper 2. Okay, then our program is structured. So whichever class you go, every week we're doing different things, but every class in the same week, we're doing the same things. So even if you do a makeup lesson from one class to another, we're covering the same thing. We follow a lesson plan given for the level. Okay, so in that way, we are structured, we make sure everything is covered lah. So when exams are near, we will do revision. Okay, so that's all for our Matrix Math program. If you have any questions you'd like to find out more about program, feel free to stay back, then let me know if you have any questions. You can ask me after that. Okay, otherwise, thank you for joining the webinar today. This is our contact in case you need for any queries or anything. Otherwise, can you all just do me a favor, scan this QR, right, and fill up the feedback form. Appreciate it very much. Okay, if you could do that for me. Thank you. If that's all, you have scanned the QR and fill up the feedback form. To fill up the feedback form, you can actually exit already. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, let me know.